Hi! I hope that you guys have all been doing so good. I really want to get back into making videos again, and I decided to invest in myself and buy a nice camera, so that's really exciting. Not that there's anything wrong with using my iPhone, and honestly, I kind of did this as motivation to force myself to actually do this, because this is something that I've been wanting to do for so long, and I think I can just get really in my head about it, and I can overthink and just kind of become a perfectionist when it comes to like rewatching the videos and just noticing certain things that I don't like. But I just want to allow myself to try something new, and I want to allow myself to not be great at it and to hold space for the learning process and to be able to see how I improve over time. And I think that's actually just like a really, really beautiful thing to allow ourselves to do. And it's really awesome if you can go into this new thing with the awareness that you're probably gonna suck at first, and like that's okay, and just be kind to yourself and just remember your original intentions for it and to just have fun with it, because more than likely it's something that you want to explore because it's something that you resonate with or you've been curious about or something that you really want to try. So here I am doing that, which is really awesome. But yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about just like some lessons or themes that have been showing up in my life lately that I'm curious if anybody else resonates with or has been experiencing as of late. I just feel like I have changed and I have grown so much since the beginning of last year. If I just think about like what was happening in my life at the time and just like where I was at, the things that I was liking to do and how I was liking to spend my energy and time. And I just feel like I was drinking a lot and going out a lot, and that's totally fine. Like, I really think that as long as you're not like, you know, losing yourself and losing sight of your responsibilities, and like as long as you're not like neglecting your health, I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking. And obviously it's so fun to be able to go out and hang out with friends and stuff, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm in such a different place, and I feel like I just feel like mentally I'm in such a different place. I also turned 25 this year, and I swear to God, on my 25th birthday I felt a mental shift. Like, I actually felt more mature, which sounds so silly. And obviously I love still being silly and all of that, and I definitely do not have my life together entirely, so I'm not saying that I'm like this super mature, wise, whatever, but I just feel like there was like a mental shift that took place, and I've really, really just been feeling it this past year, and really especially lately, and just realizing all of the subtle growth that has taken place this year. And I had a relatively easy year, actually. I feel like I ended 2023 like really traumatically, and I was having a really hard time, and I feel like life just, for the most part, took it really easy on me this year. And 2022. And I feel like I was just shown a lot of support. And so I didn't go through like a major groundbreaking event that like triggered growth per se. So it's interesting just to like realize though that so much growth has happened just in like little subtle ways over time over the last couple of months. And I definitely have been put in situations that have taught me so many lessons. So I just wanted to talk about some major ones that had been coming up for me recently. And one of those is really, really, really taking the reins of my life and making decisions that feel best to me and not caring what other people think, which sounds so simple and like so cliche, but this has played out for me in such an interesting way lately, because I feel like for whatever reason, so many people in my life, family and friends, have had so many opinions about my life choices and the way that I've been going about my life, I guess. And I'm somebody who can like really, really, really take on other people's opinions, or at least I generally like really consider them, and I always have to remind myself to take other people's opinions with a grain of salt and truly like listen to how I really feel about things. And I've always been somebody who really likes to ask for other people's opinions on life decisions that I'm making, and even just like small things. A lot of the time I notice that I can get like anxious about making decisions or really indecisive, so I will just ask other people and go with what they say. And my friend Darcy, like my very, very good friend of 10 plus years, tells me that I really like to soundboard off of other people, and that is so true. I think whenever I have like a major, or not even like super big decision, but just something that I need to decide on, I can definitely like reach out to my family and friends and the people closest to me and see how they feel. And I can really end up basing my decisions kind of off of how the people that I love feel. And that has helped me out many times, but I also have been very aware over the last couple of years that I really need to make these decisions for myself, and probably need to meditate on my power chakra. I think that's your solar plexus chakra, but I really think that I need to just do like some practices around that, because I think it really comes down to just not feeling super confident in my own decisions sometimes, or maybe it's just habit now that I just like, whenever I'm faced with something, I will just automatically reach out to other people instead of just taking a moment to like sit with myself and see how I feel and listen to my own internal guidance system. And I've always felt very, very connected to my intuition. I have so much Pisces in my chart, and I've always kind of lived a more unconventional life. I barely finished high school because I got very, very sick my senior year, and had to have somebody come to my house and teach me, and didn't go to college, and like always knew I kind of wasn't gonna go to college. It just never really seemed to like resonate, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And I ended up taking a year off after high school because I was still really sick, and then I was like, okay, I need to do something. So I went to school to be an esthetician, which I loved at the time, and it, you know, seemed like something that I wouldn't mind doing for the rest of my life, because I really do love skincare and aesthetics and beauty and making other people feel nice in their skin. And I went to a holistic school. I'm going off on a tangent now, but I went to a very holistic skincare school. So we incorporated tuning forks and aromatherapy, and my teacher stressed the importance of like just the energetics behind touching somebody, and just the intimacy of giving somebody a gentle touch, and incorporating and infusing, you know, a facial with love and good intentions and all that. So it really was something that I thought was like super amazing and cool, but I ended up falling out of doing that like literally shortly after I graduated school. And I've just gone through so many different like career changes. After esthetician school, I decided a couple of years later that I wanted to be a doula, and I felt so passionate about being a doula, and I got super into birth work, and it's always something I've thought was super amazing. And so I went to school to be a doula, and then like never practiced it, and I really do think that will be something I'll do later on in life. But all of this to say that like I'm always just like really all over the place, and kind of just like listening to my internal guidance system as far as making decisions. And you know, my decisions have changed over time, and then I moved to LA on my own, and I didn't know anybody, but I felt so strongly that that was what I was supposed to do. So I've always kind of lived just like a life based on like what I want to do and how I feel in the moment, or what I'm feeling is best for me. And I really do take the time to, you know, tune everything out and like listen to myself ultimately. But I think more day to day, I can really just like I don't know, not be as connected to that, and sometimes just really, really take the easy way out by just asking other people for their opinions. And so that's always been like a pretty normal thing for me. And as of late, I feel like I've been just like pretty content with the way that my life is going and whatnot. But for some reason, it just feels like this year there were a lot of outside opinions making their way to me, even when I did not ask for them. And so I really, really struggled with that. And I, didn't really know how to deal with it. Sometimes I would take it to heart. Sometimes I would get really, really angry. And I just didn't really know how to communicate to the people in my life that, like, I didn't ask. And like, I don't want their opinions, or their opinions actually feel really hurtful, or it's not even opinions, but just judgments, I guess. And, I really, really struggled with like a lot of anger at some people that I love, because I just felt like unsafe around them, in the sense that I felt like the way that I was living my life was really, really being judged, or what they wanted for my life was being projected really, really strongly onto me. And it sucks, because I feel like I'm susceptible to taking on guilt, or to like even just overthinking anything. So it made it more difficult for me, but ultimately was a blessing, because it allowed me to really ground in and become clear on what it is that I want for my life, and deciding whether or not, I really am happy with the way that things are going. And ultimately, I decided that I really am, and I feel really, really happy and confident in my life choices. And so it kind of just like catapulted this like energy in me, I guess, to just really, really stand up for myself, and to just really kind of like declare to everybody that like, this is my life, this is what I want to be doing. I feel happy in this relationship, I feel happy with this move, I feel happy with, whatever the case may be, and just standing really strongly in that. And I just think that there's really no blueprint for this life, and there's really no one way to go about things. And I think that clearly we all like just naturally judgments will come up within us about other people's life, and we can really think that we know the way to do it, and that people are doing things wrong or should be doing things differently. But I think it's just so important to remember that everybody is on their own individual journeys, and we're all learning things at our own pace, and we all have, different lessons in our life and different circumstances, and they're all divinely curated and orchestrated individually for us all. And I just think it's so crazy to think that I would know what's best for somebody else's life when I don't know anything that's going on inside of them. It's like we can never really know how somebody feels, or what guided them to the place they're in now, or what they're supposed to be experiencing. Like, how could I ever know what somebody should or shouldn't be doing, And I think obviously if somebody in your life is really struggling, like I used to be in a really just like toxic and unhealthy relationship a couple of years ago. And so clearly it was obvious to the people in my life that loved me that I was really, really going through a hard time, and that this relationship was not conducive for me at all, and not healthy for me at all, because you could physically see it on me. I was exhausted all the time. My skin was like not responding well. I was very skinny. And I was mean to the people in my life. I was just in a bad mood. Like, I clearly was like not doing well. So I think if somebody is clearly struggling, then it's valid to be able to like speak up to your loved ones from a place of concern, and to be able to maybe have a conversation about their life and see if they need any help, or try to offer some guidance. But I think as long as you are like happy and healthy and stable and grounded and, all of those things, it's like you should be able to make whatever choice you want for your life without feeling like you're doing something wrong, or without feeling like you have to appease the people around you. And I think I just really took on other people's opinions and genuinely felt like I was doing something wrong. And I really had to take some time away and look at my life and be like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, I'm actually really happy, and I'm thriving, and I feel good, and this feels good to me, and that's all that matters. And so I just feel like it's so important to tune out the noise around you and to just really tune into how you're feeling, and to just really, really honor that and be excited about that, and to just live your life according to what feels good to you. And it's totally okay if the people around you don't understand, or, you know, because they're living a totally different life than you are. Like, and I think it's also very important to consider where these opinions are coming from, and if you even want your life to look like that person's life. I was getting judgments about certain choices I was making, and I'm just thinking, well, if I changed these decisions and made them look like what you want, like, I wouldn't even be happy, because that's not even what I like, you know? Like, we have different tastes, we have different desires, we have different ways of expressing ourselves, and I just think it's so fucking important to stay rooted in what feels true and right to you and feels good to you. And I think that we all need to just check ourselves on the entitlement that we feel to somebody else's life, and our superiority complexes, and what our egos think is right for other people, because we never truly know. And there's just like such a divine intelligence operating within all of us. Like, we just need to trust that. And I know nothing. How could I ever know better than that divine intelligence, and better than somebody else knows for their own life? And me and my really good friend Naz had a conversation about just like open-mindedness, and kind of just like along the lines of what I'm talking about right now. And she said something that really stuck with me, and it was like, I'm never gonna know what this person experienced when they were 9 years old, when their family member said this, or when they watched this show and it triggered this thought, and this, like, you know, whatever the case may be. It's like we all have such an intricate internal guidance system and way of viewing things, and way of like deciding the choices in our lives, and yeah, it's all just so intricate and so personal. And I think we just need to mind our own business and support each other, and recognize that my life might not look like your life, and that is a beautiful and amazing thing, because diversity is so fun, and we are all supposed to be our own unique beings and expressions of source. And I made a video about this before too, because I feel like I was just feeling a lot of pressure from society to just like fit into a certain box, or just like choose one personality or like way of showing up. And like, I, as a being, just feel very, very spiritual, but like, that doesn't mean that I have to dress in flowy clothes, and you know what I mean? Like, there's no one image for like a certain way of being. And so I think just like, I don't know, just allowing ourselves to exist freely is so important, and just honoring, you know, what we like. I'm a spiritual gal, but I love fashion, and I love clothes, and I love humor, and I love fucking getting my nails done, and I love makeup, and I love beauty, and I love, you know, all of those things. I love changing my hair. So it's just like, you don't need to stay stuck to one way of being, or have your life look one specific way. I think yeah, just if you're feeling like you are letting people down, and I've struggled with people pleasing a lot in my life, and really getting so fed up to the point where I finally felt free, and I'm like, I do not care what any of you guys think, and also like, please stop giving me your opinions. And just really gaining that confidence. Yeah, I think if you just have always struggled with people pleasing, or considering other people's thoughts, that it's just really, really important to tune out the noise and recognize that everyone is coming from, their own experience, and oftentimes they're just projecting what they think is best or what they want for their life or what they believe they have to do, like maybe they're trapped in some kind of a thought form or something of what they feel like they have to have their life look like, and it almost triggers them to see you just living freely and doing what feels right to you. So just never change yourself to please anybody or to be more palatable to anybody or to feel like you are I don't know, just honor you always. Just always honor you, and it's going to inspire the people that you come in contact with. You just shine differently, and it's a really beautiful thing. That was cheesy. But it's true. It's so true. Yeah. So that's been a major theme for me, and it feels really, really good to just come into my own power and to make these decisions with confidence and to not care what anybody thinks, because I really, really try and have tried to obviously it's very preached to not care what other people think, but I think it's normal to take other people's opinions on a little bit, or at least to consider them, especially when it's somebody that we love and respect or we want to make happy. But it's just so important to just be authentic and whatnot, and a really, really beautiful thing when you can just take the time to get really, really clear with yourself on what it is that you like and what it is that you want, and to just ask yourself how you feel. It's that simple. It's really that simple to just say, how do I feel about this? And to take it from there. So yeah, I'm sending you guys all so much love, and I just hope that you guys can all do the things that make you feel good in this life, despite any pressures that you feel from the outside. And yeah, and I just love you so much. And just a reminder that we are all in this together, and whatever your fucking issue you're feeling in your human brain, many other people are probably going through it too. And just hold space for your humanness. Anywho, well, I love you so much, and I probably just talked in circles a lot, but I just really want us to all feel good about ourselves and our lives, and this is just something that I feel really, really passionately about. So I hope that you're able to take something away from me ranting. But I love you guys so much, and I really look forward to making more videos. I just want to be able to talk about whatever I'm going through or have gone through, and be able to alchemize maybe less desirable situations I've experienced into just wisdom, and sharing what I've learned with people, because I love watching videos where people just, drop the wisdom and just share what they've learned, and it makes me feel less alone. And I love just taking insight away from other people and saying how it could maybe apply to my life, or just kind of keeping it in mind. And I love new perspectives, and yeah, we're really all in this together, and we're all trying to navigate this human life as best as we can. So just never be too hard on yourself, especially when faced with a potential opportunity to learn a lesson. It's always a really, really beautiful thing, actually. I think even though, it's not ideal to have to go through people pleasing or to get in a situation where you're feeling really down from people around you, but it's such a beautiful opportunity to be able to ground in what feels true and right to you, and to be able to show up differently after that, and to not be swayed by other people's opinions, and to learn to speak up for yourself, and to learn to feel confident in yourself, and so that you can live your life in a different manner regarding those things. It's a really beautiful opportunity to be able to just go through it and come out differently. So anyways, another person is walking by and I feel so uncomfortable and I'm just looking the other way.